Um. Oh, Sejuani's up. I think I'd rather play against Cassidon than Sejuani. So annoying. So our mid laner is giving me mid, but he doesn't play to carry, and he's gonna pick Kog'Maw. What? Should be an interesting game. But command attack on Orianna in 2017. Might put on more piano. Sure, fam. Gonna get in voice chat with this guy. Should be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the Monster Cat playlist, honestly. Oh, thanks, Fiku. You're so kind. Is it NCS, Ichigo? They're triple AP, so I'm gonna have to build a Banshee this game. And I think Cleanse is the best summoner spell to take, because these three all have hard CC. Could take Barrier, or Ghost, or Exhaust even, but I think Cleanse will provide the most safety. Actually wants a Lowry. Disgusting. Lowry versus Darius. I don't think I've seen that one. For one split. Play LeBlanc? No, we already picked Orianna. What rank is this? This is consignment 1 right now. NA solo queue? Yeah, dude. Gonna get to play with my boy Fiku. The legend, the god himself. Should be an interesting game. My CPU is so hot. It's like a furnace in my room. That's actually one of the large reasons that I play a lot of piano music is because it doesn't get muted by Twitch. It's nice. I'm gonna add probably 2 more 12mm or 120mm fans into my computer, but I'm not sure if I should get Noctuas or if I should go like Corsair or something. So mid lane is a losing matchup. Top lane, I have no idea how that goes. Junglers have different pressure and they scale differently. I think Edge Gragas, Edge early to Lucian, Edge later to Kog'Maw, and Janna and Zilean kind of fulfill the same purpose in the game. So, with that being said, we have to be really careful in the mid game, but we should outscale with Alawi, Orianna, and Kog'Maw. Whereas they have Elise and Lucian. Darius scales pretty well if he's not kited, but I think we have the ability to kite him between Gragas, Orianna, Janna, and Kog'Maw, and mid-scale similarly, but differently as well. Overall, I think if we don't get boned in the mid-game, we should win. Forgot to turn off your 500 air blower. Yeah, I mean, I only have 3 fans in my case right now. I need to add more. I only have the stock Ryzen cooler, so it's like apparently it's okay, but I feel like I need a better cooler on it. Because my temperature is like they're not like overly hot for like a graphics card. It's just or like a CPU. It's just that it is hot. So it's hot in my room because I don't have any AC and I'm up on the top floor. She started pushing, so I have to start a counter push going. She hit my caster, so she could either push or not push, but it's too risky for me to not push. I don't want to push into Elise though, because that's spooky between Elise and Syndra. We have Gragas, who's like pretty good at counter ganking, but the risk reward I don't think is worth it with their strong mid game. Giving them any extra gold is not a good idea. Interesting. Gonna take shield second because it's kind of a bad lane. Gonna have to E to get this, I think. Never mind. How much should I drop in my rig? 1400 between all of my parts. But I bought the graphics card a while ago, so like I don't know if that really counts. It kind of sucks. Oh yeah, that really sucks. At least it waits for me here too. God damn it, Fiku, I hate you. You're trolling me. Okay, he didn't freeze the lane, so I got pretty lucky. That's worth actually. Well, yeah, I mean, giving them extra gold isn't good for any team comp, right? But especially their team comp. You know, like it just their mid game is so strong and they have so many tools to further advantages. That's why it's especially not good. I missed that caster minion. And like just into the mid lane matchup, I would die 100% of the time. If I push into Elise Syndra as a immobile mage, it's just like it's a free gank 100% of the time. Might have trouble with these depending on how my creeps focus. And my creeps focused as well. Okay, I'm coming. Yeah. It was funny how that worked out. I just wanted to clarify. Man, that's like 3 in a row. That's brutal. Now it's like 5 in a row. I'm gonna shove this out. She can't counter push it. This should be cannon. Fuck, it's not. I have to stay because it's not cannon. So Syndra can push too hard. I would have liked to base and get a null magic and a amp tome, but I wasn't able to. Because if I base there, she just pushes and I miss experience. But if the cannon wave is coming up, she can't push it in time. Now it should be cannon. Yeah, okay. Oh, Lisa's... So that was a relatively easy laning, like early laning phase. She didn't really abuse the matchup too much because like she was trying to go with Elise in the jungle. But like I also helped Elise or Gragas in the jungle. So I'm not really sure if this guy plays Syndra too much because he really didn't take advantage of it at all. And I dodged most of his stuff. But I am down CS because I missed a ton of free stuff, and that's on me. And the way that my wave was positioned when I went to help Gragas was not favorable for me. I'm pushing this out because Syndra is base and I want to go get a ward. But otherwise, freezing there would have been better because then more of her creeps die, or more of my creeps die. I wanted to get the ward up here, but clearing this ward is more valuable, and getting a more shallow ward right here. Okay. Probably could have ganked this, but I don't have any ward information, so I don't think it's worth the risk of falling behind in the mid lane. If I would have known about wards, going bottom would have been a pretty good play there. So she's actually lost chapter ahead of me, so I'm gonna have to base on the next cannon after this one. Because I can't mana sustain against Syndra if I don't have chapter. Process commentary? Yeah, I'm trying. I have to conserve my mana now because Gragas wants to come here. This is warded. I think it's going to turn into a 2v2. Can try to zone off cannon. No? Okay. I need to help Gragas though. This next one should be cannon, so I do want to base on it. I will get my lost chapter in boots. No. That's... I need to push. If Orianna lives here, that's really good. Lisa's behind me, so I can't push any further. Probably would have been better to just base then. But I thought Elise would be topside. She can't 100 to 0 me, so I'm not sure what she's doing. Probably gonna go to blue right now. It's gone. I don't have mana to defend it. Hopefully that pushes close enough to their turret. I still haven't used any of my potions, which is interesting. I would have liked to have gotten a refillable, but I haven't need to. It's not that bad of a spot. She's not gonna freeze it. And if she does, I'll call Gragas or alt the wave. Yeah. See, Syndra doesn't like freeze the wave. She could have frozen it there though, and it could have been pretty bad, but she chose not to. She's probably basing right now, so I'm going to try to force her to stay by pushing this wave in. She isn't basing, so I'm not going to push because we don't have any vision on Elise. And my jungler is bot side. If my jungler is closer to mid, I can push out and start a roam. But since I don't have support, if their jungler is here, it's not worth the risk for me to push. I want to get this warded while she's gone. She might have saw that with the turret, but this way I'll know where she goes. Now she's probably base, especially because it's a cannon wave. I am going to counter push it so that I can get a base as well. She did not base, so I can stay. Yeah, I was but I was basing, so it didn't matter. Ichigo. I'm just gonna exist. I don't want to base because I wasn't sure what she was gonna do with the wave. So I'm just gonna exist outside. She's about to Q the wave, and I'll try to harass her with it. Still no vision on Elise, and we have moderate coverage on bot side. So I have to play even passive again. Yeah, so here's Elise. This entire time, I'm just thinking about where the jungler is and what I can do, knowing where she is, or where she could be. Syndra's basing, and the only reason I know it is because of this ward. With that in mind, I'm going to counter base as well, because Elise is here, and their bot's going to rotate mid, so I need to be based with my item spikes. Actually, I'm going to get not this. I'm going to get this instead. And then... So unfortunately I wasted a little bit of time there because I didn't think about my build beforehand. But with this build, I'll be getting a Banshee's Veil later, so I'm just going to have double pen for their 3 APs. And since they all have CC, I think it's fine to build Merc Treads. We have a relatively high damage team comp, so me building defensive boots is okay. I'm not playing to control the lane right now. I'm playing to not die. I might have to ult this wave. Oh. I didn't know Janna was gonna ult. I was trying to ult Elise out of the animation. Unfortunate. How do I decide when it's worth ulting a wave? That was a large wave that I needed to catch. Even it, like, I need to protect mid turret, so that's what I need to catch it for. Even if I don't get all the gold, I just need to protect this turret, because this turret is so important. And the cooldown isn't like absurdly long, so if I protect the turret and prevent a dive, because I knew they were all in my jungle over here, it's worth it to ult it. Because I'm not going for kills anyway, like I said in this lane. Like, my goal is just to clear, because they have a higher pressure jungler than we do. I need to clear and ward up so that she can't make map plays while I'm clearing. But just like I said, because of the pressure that they have, it's just too greedy. Your W does more damage than your ult? Yeah. Of course you max Q. My W does more damage than my ult until level 11. Like, until I get level 2 on ult. Ori's base damage on ult is really low. It's only 150. Let's see. With moderately good scaling, though. I think it's 0.6. Am I hindering myself by using range indicators or random Q? No. I do it too sometimes. I have a hotkey for it. If anything, I think more pros use range indicators than not on Orianna. It sucks that I've had, like, no map impact this game, though. Like, I just have to AFK clear. But that's because Elise rushed Mobies. It's Syndra with Ignite. And I held my jungler. She might just... Yeah, she's gonna flash. Unlucky. I really needed this blue buff because... we need this. It sucks that I didn't get that blue buff because I need to keep clearing. And I also need to upgrade my Morellos to clear item slots. So I just lose mana efficiency because Lost Chapter provides way more mana sustain than Morello's does, because Morello's is based off of getting a kill or assist, whereas Lost Chapter is based on level. And when you're doing extended laning, which that is what this is, you usually want to keep Lost Chapter. I'm gonna miss this. Do you run 2 points of meditation? Yeah, I do. I do have to sprint top as well. So they just like hovered around here for whatever reason. When we saw Elise and Syndra both coming up. I can defend this. Never mind, they're basing, so I'm gonna defend mid instead. They're on Rift Herald, but we can't contest it since our support and our top laner were dead. And I was off the map with no mana. This really is like a feels bad game, like I said, because I can't pressure the map. Since there at least has more jungle pressure, just because of the way the game's played out. They'll probably use Rift in mid. Oh, I might have to flash. Like, this is a time I consider ulting the wave if she lets us build, because then they have a lot of turret pressure with Rift Herald. And since I already have 25% cooldown reduction, my cooldown's only 70 seconds. Janna's with Mobi's to feed faster. Yeah, exactly, fam. Syndra's probably basing because she hasn't based in a while, so I'm gonna push this out. She stays, which is honestly really greedy, and I wish that Fiku had a little bit more pressure in or around the mid lane in order to punish this. She did build Negatron though, so it's kinda hard to kill her, but it's not overly hard. I should have... Holy. I should have checked that with my Q first. 1, because I blind face checked, and 2, I didn't check for a ward. I want to clear this as soon as possible, in case they did decide to rotate mid. It looked like Zillion max speed. Or I guess he's level 9, so he probably has more points. Rotating over to blue, which means Elise is over there. Oh, she didn't get it. I don't know what she's doing. She's low on mana, and she doesn't have chapter, so she can't surprise mana me. But I'm also kind of low. She has to be basing. This is so greedy. I would have wanted to get a needlessly large rod there, but I need pressure on Dragon, so I had to base right then. It's up now, and at least actually could start it. But I need to see what's going on. You don't have to win the game right now, just don't let them take it in before 25 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we just have to survive their mid-game pressure, because they're Lucian, Syndra, Elise, Darius. That's a lot of mid-game pressure. We have Kog'Maw, Orianna, so we scale. Which is why my purpose is just to clear, not die, and don't... Nice. And don't give them map pressure. Like, Syndra's roaming, but I'm trying to get wards so that we know where she's roaming. So that we can minimize her map impact. My bottom lane and my top lane both lost like pretty hard, so that's kind of unfortunate. They're going to come from the bot side, so I'm going to path more towards top side. I'm going to put my call on Gragas now, just in case he wants to engage. I wasted my cleanse. Oh, that's some FPS right there. Just a little trigger happy, honestly. So they have mid priority. I actually probably could have ulted her there. I mean, my top laner died level 1, so Darius is rotating over. I have to concede this because team isn't around. Oh, I didn't respect it though. Yeah. So I wanted to ult the wave, but that was just really greedy to do. I should have just based because I knew Darius was coming here. And as soon as I saw Lucian and Zillion over here, I should have just based. They didn't even need them, but it's just extra reason to base. And I didn't flash the stun. I flashed after the stun. So just bad play overall. We do outscale though. I mean, I think Elise had jungle pressure. She definitely had pressure effects mid because we didn't have knowledge on her the whole time. Yeah, I can agree with what Kog'Maw said. Gragas didn't really get anything on the map, like including pressure. He tried to like focus Alawi, but like she died level 1. Like if your solo lane dies level 1, that's like, you just kind of scrap that lane. And it's not like the lane is like incredible for ganking either. Like a lot, like how do you... Like it's not like a hard CC lane where it's like, oh yeah, this is like a super free gank. But this is one of those games where you question where it's like, okay, I let my top laner blind pick Orianna. Was it worth it? Because I could have counter picked Syndra. Oh, I need to get out of here. I could have counterpicked Syndra with Echo or Vlad. But instead I gave my top laner a favorable matchup, who died level 1. I'll read that comment in a second. I have to pay a little bit of attention here. Because I have no mid turrets. This is really greedy. Holy. Why Rabadon's over guys? Because I need a Void Staff. Because they have double Mana Resist items. And I also need to build a Banshee's Veil, so I had to get Void Staff earlier rather than later. Because I absolutely have to get a Banshee's Veil against their team, which sucks because I had to bring Cleanse as well. But I will actually just die to Syndra if I don't get a Banshee's Veil on top of already having Cleanse and Merc Tread boots. And if I die, Kog'Maw loses a lot of protection because then they have more focus. Yeah, when I pick parts, I just go with whatever's quickest, and for that scenario, I found that going via Rabadon's was faster just because I clicked on it. Yeah, exactly, Sniper. It just has all the parts, so like it was easy. And I think I was like on here and I just clicked it because that was the closest one to the center of the map. See, because I hit P, so right here. That's another Infernal Drake. Game's probably over. Nothing can really do. We're getting rotated on. I really don't like this. Maybe I should have ulted him. I don't know. I don't think solo ulting Darius there is very good. But I think with the way that played out, maybe I should have. Potion was on the wrong hotkey, not my fault. Okay. Yeah, I use basic, classic skin Orianna. I don't know, I like it. I think it's a good skin. Oh well. Got sped up. That was a fast Darius. Okay, so that's game. Unfortunate. Yes, Night, but like, oh no, I couldn't control where my potion was. Okay. No, so in actuality, the reason I lost that game was, one, unfortunately, my top laner kind of inted a little bit. My bot laner lost, and I didn't take enough aggressive action in the mid game. So, I was playing it as if my team wouldn't int, but they did, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't know who added me. Oh, it's Fiku. I'm not ready for this flame. It's not fair. But, so, like, the way the game went down was I didn't pressure enough. I just played out of, passiveness and trying to prevent Syndra from getting further ahead because they had the high pressure mid jungle combo. So if we, the tentacles moved it. So if I open up Rip Kit, I can kind of explain better what I mean. So if we look what happened, top lane lost, so he's gonna be pushing, and it makes sense why our I need to reset this. Oh, you guys can't see. Yeah, I know. It should come on. Maybe? Or maybe not? Okay, well I guess I can't explain Ripkit because it's not letting me capture it. Like it just captures as a blank screen. See, like my webcam's hiding, right? But I'm enabling and disabling my monitor capture. This doesn't make sense. Test, new, mentality, dying light. Nope, none of them are gonna display anything, I guess. Let me try one last thing. I guess new monitor 2. Alright, this is solid, guys. So I guess I'll load this in a custom game to explain it. How can your monitor be real if your eyes aren't real? Great question. I think this is worth explaining, so that's why I'm gonna do this. That's so odd that happened. Maybe if it loads my league game, it'll reset OBS for some reason. Oh, wait. Okay, so now my monitor capture works for some reason. Okay, so what happened was this. Top lane is gonna be pushed in because he died level 1, and it's Alawi versus Darius. Okay. So top lost somehow level 1. We'll just ignore that happened and then just give him lane priority. Zoom browser, sure. Thank you, Darksteel. Okay. So top loses this matchup, so he's gonna be pushed 24/7. So Gragas feels that he can come up here and get a kill on Darius, but Darius has too much sustain and Alawi doesn't have any pressure because it's a melee matchup. In the melee matchup, once Darius is ahead, it's over. Like, the melee will actually never be able to fight. Let me leave this custom game. Because that happened, Alawi will never be able to fight Darius. Ever. So Gragas feels that he can come up and help him, but Darius will sustain through it, and they don't have enough CC to be able to do anything here. So this is kind of just wasted pressure. You just kind of have to sack this lane. If you look down the other side of the map, and I clear this, my bottom lane also died early, so they lose pressure as well. And Lucian Zilean is going to be inherently stronger than Janna Kog'Maw on lane. So this lane is going to be pushed as well. I don't want that one. So this lane is pushed in, and top lane is pushed in. So this means that they're going to have topside vision control, so it's going to look like this for them. Like, they have this area controlled via a control ward here, and probably a control ward here. Or even here. And well, this will probably be, okay, so this will be a ward, and this will be a control ward. So they're going to have these two control wards always down, and then this warded as well. So Gragas doesn't have a good gank path because he can't go here and he's spotted. He can't go here because he's spotted. We also figured out as the game progressed that they had a control ward here as well. So this means that Gragas can't even go here. Gragas actually can't have any map impact because every lane is pushed. So he's forced to do really weird lane ganks like this, or I guess I have to zoom out a little bit. And that's going to mess up some stuff. Gonna have to redraw it. So this is control warded. This is control warded. This is a regular ward. This is control warded. This is a regular ward. So like I said before, Gragas can't go here because this ward spots him. He can't go here because this ward spots him. He can't go here because this ward spots him. He can't go here because this ward spots him. He can't do this because this ward spots him. He can do like really weird lane ganks like this, which Gragas plus Darius don't really do a good job with. And then he can do like this, which is Kog'Maw and Janna. Oh wait, Gragas and Alawi. I spelled that so wrong. I'm just gonna cross that out. Gragas plus Alawi versus Darius and Elise. They don't win this 2v2. They don't win this 3v3 because this is Lucian versus Zilean. And Janna will have no impact on this fight down in bottom lane because of Zilean and Lucian being able to dodge everything. And then this is going to be the priorities on the lanes. So because top died, all priority is on Darius. Syndra has inherent priority in the mid lane, in addition to having a stronger jungler. So Elise plus Syndra means I can't really overextend beyond this point. Because if I do, that opens up this and this to Elise, which they tried to do a couple of times. Because we can't get any vision in here, or obviously anywhere in here or here. And that just means that Syndra has full priority. Like, she already has priority in the Ori versus Syndra lane because of the matchup, but especially now with top lane losing, bot lane losing, and the jungle disparity, there's nothing that mid lane can really do. So all three lanes lose in pressure, which means that Elise can just go across both jungles. So she just has absolute control of the game. So what happened was she just kept getting like the counter ganks top, or pressuring bottom lane, or pressuring mid lane, and as a result of that, Syndra also got to pressure top lane. Oh jeez. Syndra also got to pressure top lane, and she also got to pressure bottom lane, and get even deeper wards here, and here, and here, and just everywhere. So the map was pretty much entirely lit up by them, and we had nothing on the map. So it was just a feels bad man game because of the fact that two lanes lost like really hard. I was down like 10 CS after I went to help Gragas over here, and Syndra didn't rotate. And it sucks. Yeah. Hydro, to clarify, losing doesn't necessarily mean losing in CS or losing in kills. It also means losing in pressure, because if you're pressuring the enemy laners, you have ward control and you draw a jungle aggro, or you permit your jungler to 3 versus 2 in an easier fashion. So just because you're not like down 40 CS or you're not dead doesn't mean you're not losing the lane or losing in priority. So no lane had any priority, and they just got to choke the entire map. So what happened was, you know, Alawi ended up with 8 deaths. Mid lane ended up with 2 deaths. Bottom lane, I don't even remember what they had. But there was nothing that Gragas could do here, and he focused all of his time here. What he should have done was he should have helped me secure these areas, which then prevents Syndra from getting free roams like this. That's why I dropped this ward here in the mid game, because we were able to see her roams in her bases. And kind of scrapped this lane, because this lane was over with. Like, you don't win this lane ever because of the reasons that I described earlier. So what you should do as a jungler is you should look to ward this to try to help him if you can, but you don't look to prioritize this. You should ward these to prevent the jungler from ganking, or the mid laner from ganking, and then the jungler from ganking mid lane, and then look to 4-man bottom lane via mid lane roams once the waves are reset. Or you look to help mid lane, because like Gragas could E-flash over this wall and hit Syndra. And that's really big, because if Syndra doesn't have flash, that removes a lot of pressure from the mid lane, the enemy, or the allied mid laner. Because Syndra can't just like flash R or anything like that. And it just generally creates more threat, right? Because if you don't have flash as an immobile mage, like Syndra's one of the most mobile mages because of her ability to cast while moving. It just creates more pressure on the map, because the pressure that was created up top didn't have anything at all like any map impact, because let's say even if Alawi gets ahead, right? This doesn't have any pressure on mid lane, because Elise is still focusing in all of this. And so it doesn't have any pressure in mid lane. Because, like, it's not like you're afraid of a Darius roam anyway. Like, if it was Quinn, it would be different. Because, like, oh, okay, then you kind of shut down the Quinn. Like, she can't roam. But Darius doesn't roam mid. And Darius's teleport plays bottom, when they're already pushed in like this, aren't that impactful. You know, it's not like a Malphite flash ulting or anything. So focusing top lane was just, like, the wrong play. What he should have done was definitely focused around the mid lane or focused around the bottom lane. Because our win condition isn't Alawi. Alawi? That's how you spell it. Right? Our win condition was Kog'Maw and Orianna. Because when you look at the team comp, let me rewrite this in order. So it's Alawi, Gragas, Ori, Kog'Maw, and Janna versus Darius, Elise, Syndra, Lucian, and Zilean. So what does this mean? I kind of explained it in Champion Select, but if I draw some lines here, you'll see that these two scale similarly, but they're in different ways, right? So this is kind of like even, but Darius was ahead, so he's going to always scale harder than Alawi unless the game goes to 40, 45, 50 minutes. So Darius has priority in, and this is like strong throughout the entire game. Elise has jungle priority, but she falls off really hard, where Gragas becomes more useful. So Gragas actually has an edge here as long as the teams don't feed too hard. In mid lane, they're roughly equal because, like, Syndra and Orianna, they just scale in different ways. So Orianna's more of a team fighting mage where it's like, hey, let's like group around, be utility, help the Kog'Maw, etc. type stuff. Whereas Syndra is more like raw damage and burst. She still has the ability to control team fights, but in a different way than Orianna. So there's no inherent priority in these two, but Syndra ends up winning because of these two here. And then this. So Syndra has an edge. But if she doesn't have an edge, then these two scale similarly. Kog'Maw will outscale Lucian. That's just how it works. Kog'Maw will do way better. And then Janna and Zilean, they scale in similar ways. So I'm going to cross them out as well. Because Zilean acts as like speed and the revive. And some AoE stun potential. But it's not like guaranteed, right? And Janna's really good peel with the Kog'Maw. So I think that these two scale harder than these two. Even when you combine Zilean with the rest of them. Like, Zilean Darius is strong, Zilean Syndra is strong. But these two scale harder. Like, sorry. This 3 combo plus the Gragas scale harder. So what does that mean? That means that you should focus on the Orianna and the Kog'Maw. Because these are your guaranteed late game threats. And as long as the game doesn't crack by 25 minutes, this is what wins you the game right here. Like, this combination. So this is where you should be putting your focus. You say, top lane's over, you scrap this, you try to get wards here, or the mid laner tries to ward here, to try to help Darius from like, or try to help Alawi from getting completely boned, so Darius doesn't go like this and even like this, because once this happens, then you lose all map control here. So you try to alleviate pressure, but you don't focus it to try to win the game there. Instead, you focus vision here, vision here, vision here, and then you allow this lane to win and this lane to win. Because if these two win, then that out-prioritizes this lane winning. So, Kog'Maw, Ori, and Janna winning is more important than Darius winning. Because if these two are ahead, Kog'Maw never dies. He just never dies because Ori EWR all peels for him with Q zone. All 4 of Orianna's abilities inherently help Kog'Maw. Janna has her QWER, right? Like, all of this inherently helps Kog'Maw. And then Gragas. This is Janna. Gragas, all of his abilities, I guess, okay, so QER, all inherently peel for the Kog'Maw. So that means Kog'Maw just becomes a late game god, right? And then he'll kite Darius, he'll kite Elise, he won't die to Syndra, and then Lucian and Zilean won't have as much impact. As long as the bottom half of the map wins, the game's like, blue side wins this matchup 100% of the time, unless there's a really big misplay or there's some really sketchy Baron plays, or Rift, like Rift plus Baron. Because if they get a lot off Rift, then that's bad. Or Dragon plays with, they got like 2 Infernals and or 2 Mountains and an Inferno. So the only way that blue team loses is if top lane falls really far behind, or I guess if all the lanes fall really far behind, and that's exactly what happened. So it's kind of like a review of that game. Yeah, Gio, we can start now. I'm gonna go up and answer the questions really quick, but I will start loading that review.